Stranger Things has had tons of villains across its decade-long run, from the most minor and weak characters to people that can bend reality itself. We're about to cover the 7 levels of villains. Level 1 is the human troublemakers who get loud, make a mess, and fall flat when the real enemy appears. Jason Carver is the best example. He uses grief and popularity to start a witch hunt. He has a microphone, so the town listens, but he points them at the completely wrong target. Chrissy's death becomes a rumor about demons. Eddie's club becomes a fake cult. His harm doesn't come from any kind of overwhelming strength. His attacks come from blaming the wrong people and wasting precious time, preventing people from finding the truth. He breaks into a house, waves a gun, fights Lucas, and never touches the real killer. When the ground cracks and the gate opens through him, his weak sense of power ends in the face of true strength. Jason's damage is purely social in nature. He turns neighbors against each other. He pulls police to the wrong place. He makes Hawkins worse, not safer, through words rather than just fights. Larry Klein is in the same tier because he hides behind a system. He signs shady deals and trades favors. He treats the town like a campaign. Starcourt gets built because he wants votes and money. The Soviets work in secret because he gives them good cover. He uses City Hall to block Joyce and Hopper. He spins bad news on TV. Put him in a room with an actual monster, though, and he's toast in a matter of seconds. Put him near the Mind Flayer, and he means nothing. His danger comes from his seat of influence, not his skills. He blocks truth and sells access. It looks real for a while, then the arrests come. This level feels real because people see it in life. It also ends fast when claws, tendrils, or mind powers show up, making its villains weak in the grand scheme of things. Level 2 is still human, but the choices hurt more. No powers needed here, just control and harm. Dr. Martin Brenner sits at the center of this level. He runs a lab that treats children like numbers. Tests replace any legitimate forms of childhood. Tanks and blindfolds are a regular fixture. He says that it's for safety, then keeps going past every line in the sand. Years later, he returns and calls it help. He puts a collar on that help. He locks the door. He sets a schedule and ignores the person. He's not a monster in a hall. He's the reason that hall exists. That level of reach and evil puts him above level 1. He builds heroes and monsters because he sees kids as tools. But he's far below the really big threats. Lieutenant Colonel Jack Sullivan stands beside him in this level as the state's hammer. He looks at something he doesn't understand and answers with brute force. He thinks Eleven is the problem, not the answer. He moves trucks and helicopters to trap her, rather than do things peacefully or with care. He raids homes and scares families without any form of necessity. He almost kills the town's best chance. That's the lesson here. Real fear, real harm. The kind of power that builds a deep sense of arrogance and ego. A hard limit, too. You can point a gun at a person and end their lives. Try that against an interdimensional gate, however, and you're nothing more than a joke. Level 2 hurts people deeply, but still doesn't touch even the roots of the greater threats. Level 3 blurs the line between human and demon. The Flayed are people, but their will and independence is gone. The Mind Flayer pushes through a door that opened again, and the control spreads. It starts with rats. Then people feel sick, then lose control. Hosts meet at the steel mill. When called, they melt into a gruesome pile. They leave a wet mark where a life had been in the morning. The horror is close and wide at the same time. Your friend is in the room, but so is the thing that wants you dead. One signal moves many bodies at once. They lie, they lure, they attack. Then they turn into meat for something much bigger. This level hits hard because it's every fear at once. No control, a familiar face, a death that looks like a choice from far away and was not. Billy Hargrove is the sharpest point of the spear of level 3. He was already wild and cruel to many. The control turns that into a weapon. He grabs victims and brings them to the mill. He acts normal until he's close enough to change their lives in the worst ways. Then his voice goes flat. Eleven reaches the real Billy by using his memory of his mom and the boy he was before his immense trauma. He stops the kill and takes the hit for her instead. That moment shows the difference between a puppet and a person. You can break the control, but the cost stays, as the true demon of level 3 is too strong to stop alone. As a group, the Flayed hit fast and hard, but they depend on a link. Break the link, and they drop, one by one. The hospital fight shows this well. 2 hosts melt into a fast, sticky mass. It slides through halls, splits, and joins again. It stalks rooms and rams into beds. It doesn't plan carefully. It just attacks. Later, the final body at Starcourt is the same thing. Just a huge threat. A whole block of people melted into one giant hunter. The weakness stays the same. Close the link and it falls. Only level 3 gives this mix. Human faces, a shared demonic will, an off switch that lives somewhere far away. Level 4 is the tier of creatures that set the rules of danger. The Demogorgon is the first shape you remember, present since the very beginning. It hunts through using blood and sound. Guns barely slow it down. It opens a cut in a wall. steps through and drags a victim back to its personal hell. It moves like a boss in its own world, but it still burns. Fire hurts it, allowing gasoline and a lighter do what bullets cannot. You can't beat it with just one person and a clip of bullets. You beat it with fire, traps, and a hell of a lot of courage. The Russian prison shows this best. 2 Demogorgons and an arena test if people can light a flame and work together before claws hit ribs. If they can, they live. If they cannot, they die horrifically. Demodogs change the field entirely. Now it is a pack of crazed hunters. They run together, turn fast, and follow orders at once through a linked network. 1 can rip a leg. 10 can block every exit and corner a target before devouring them entirely. They flood stairs and halls, moving faster than anybody can track with bullets. Nancy, Jonathan, Steve, Max, and Dustin all have to trick them to reach a car. The tunnels under Hawkins make it worse. The pack moves even faster and hides better. The vines down there react when Will feels pain. Fire and teamwork still matter, but the game has changed entirely. 1 monster is a nightmare. 20 are a system. Then the sky shows an even creepier form of this level's power. Demobats make the upside-down 3-dimensional. They circle roofs and pull people off of any safe spots they find. 1 bat is weak and easy to handle. A storm of dozens is deadly and almost impossible to beat. They force hard choices because they can reach anywhere in seconds. Eddie's legendary guitar scene works so well because the bats do what they are built to, and he found the only solid counter. The vines are the slow version of the same idea. They sense, grab, and hold until the real kill comes. They make moving risky, and waiting even more so. It's one living web of demons that pulls you in and inevitably eliminates you in terrifying fashion. Level 4 sits in the middle for a simple reason. It kills fast and scares everyone, but you can beat it with the right tools and a carefully laid out plan. Steve with a nail bat, Hopper with fire. They cannot stop what comes next alone, but they can win against one beast and overcome it with care. You can prepare and you can win, while the same isn't easily said for the next tier. Level 5 is a smart threat that reaches across town. The Mind Flayer turns Hawkins into a chessboard, and in 84 it uses an open door to spread tunnels. It sends Demodogs on raids. It uses Will like a radio. Will's drawings map the web. The buyer's house becomes a command room. Heat helps as saunas push the signal out of a body. Fire forces the creatures back. None of this matters if the door stays open, though. When the lab gate closes, the pack dies where it stands. In 1985, a leftover piece in our world wakes up. It grabs hosts, it builds a big body to connect again. The same mind runs both years. The town isn't just under attack, it's getting used as a tool. This level earns its spot because it is more than just savage teeth. It waits. It uses people as tools and parts of a plan. It turns Will into a sensor. It changes plans when they run into a roadblock. It uses space and time better than any other demonic soldier in the show. The door is the key link. If the door holds, the Mind Flayer grows. If the door shuts, the local body fails. That is why it sits above the creature tier, but can't quite get higher than that. It doesn't need to stand in a room to win control over it. Level 6 is Henry Creel before the Grand Change. Take away the vines, cracked skin, and the eerie voice. You have a person with strong power and a clear plan. As a boy, he sees people in a strange way and hates rules he doesn't respect. The Creel murders show control and intent. Years later, he's an orderly with a chip in his neck. He watches the lab that shaped him. He acts kind. He pushes Eleven to doubt. He waits for a chance to remove the chip. Once it's gone, he tears through the lab and goes on a huge but controlled rampage. He breaks necks. He throws adults into walls. He kills every numbered child he can reach. It isn't just a temper tantrum. It's a purge. He tries to recruit Eleven because he sees the only other person who can match him. He asks her to let go of her limits. He loses because Eleven reaches a new level in one dramatic moment. Her blast opens a door and throws him into a world that fits him. That is the gap between level 6 and level 7. At level 6, he still has a normal body. He needs doors and time. He can be cornered. He can be shocked. He can be thrown around. He can be taken by surprise. The story shows this ceiling limiting his power will not hold once he finds the right world and form to take on. He's already a great planner inside one twisted building. Give him a whole dimension to control and the map changes forever. Level 7 is Vecna's full form. The upside down marks Henry and gives him a way to touch every mind on the hive. His reach shifts from what he sees to what he thinks. He reads pain, steps into a memory, and attacks from inside it. His curse follows the same steps. The head rises, bones snap, eyes go. The room is a murder scene and a doorway all at once. He does not need a body in the same room in order to wreak havoc. He speaks through visions and minds. He lifts people in their homes and schools, places they should be safe and sound. Each death tears the town open bit by bit. While Hawkins blames kids with guitars, the real killer moves on and keeps the clock running. The final reveal of Season 4 ties it all together. The general shape people feared is something Henry made from the twisted particles he found. He took a living storm and gave it a body that fits his evil will. That turns the Mind Flayer from a ruler into a tool. Demogorgons, Demodogs, Vines, and Bats become parts of one plan. The latter stays the same. The top has more steps than people first saw. The plan to merge worlds doesn't start with a rush of beasts, it starts quiet, inside nightmares and pain. When the gates rip Hawkins open, the scale makes sense. Level 1 wastes time. Level 2 breaks people. Level 3 steals bodies. Level 4 fills ground and sky with enemies you can't just outrun. Level 5 links it together and moves pieces without needing to show up. Level 6 is a human will strong enough to burn a cruel program down. Level 7 is that will joined to a world that listens to its every wish. Vecna stays on top, not just for power. It's a combination of reach, plan, and result. A Demogorgon can clear a hall, but Vecna can clear a map. A pack can hold a building, but Vecna can hold a town in fear while he finishes a ritual that cracks the earth. From level 1 all the way up to 7, each villain has defining moments in the show, and the rises of power and influence is clear from one rung of the ladder to the next. Which level do you find the most interesting? Would you give up your humanity to be on Vecna's level? Let us know in the comments below. And if you want to see more Stranger Things content and theories, click the video on screen now.